So for these first examples, we are going to be talking about multiplying polynomials together, and specifically multiplying monomials, which are just single term polynomials, and distributing a monomial throughout a polynomial. Before we start, I wanted to remind you that when you are multiplying two variables together, as long as they are the same variable, so let's say I have x squared times x to the fifth, what I want to do to multiply those together is actually take and add up here on our exponents, so that would end up being x to the seventh. So again, anytime we're multiplying two variables that are the same variable, we can add their exponents. Also, if you don't have a variable that does not have an exponent, remember it always has an exponent of 1. So if we look at this first example, we have 3x times 7x cubed. So when we're doing this, because you're not really foiling since there's no addition or subtraction, you're basically just saying, I'm going to multiply the pieces that are alike. So in this case, the 3 and the 7 are alike, so we're going to multiply that, and 3 times 7 is going to give us 21. And then we're also going to come in here and multiply the x's since those are alike. Now again, when you're multiplying variables, you're not really doing multiplication, you're adding their exponents. The x has an exponent of 1, this x has an exponent of 3, so we would do 1 plus 3, which would give us 4. So this would be 21 x to the fourth, and that is what we would get when we multiplied those two monomials, or single terms, together. So this next example is the same type of problem. We have two single terms that we are multiplying together. So when we do this, again, we're going to multiply the pieces that are alike. So for instance, we're going to go ahead and multiply the -5 and the -2, since those are both numbers, and -5 times -2 would give us a +10. So then we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to multiply the x's together. Again, when we do that, that means we're going to add our exponents. So we've got 3 plus 4, which would give us 7. So this would be x to the 7th. And then on our y's, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our y's together. And again, remember, if it doesn't have an exponent, it's automatically a 1. So we're going to do 1 plus 2, which would give us 3. So this would be y to the third. So our answer for these, multiplying -5x cubed y times -2x to the fourth y squared, would be a positive 10x to the seventh y cubed. Now in our next example, we are actually distributing, because we have a single term, 3x, that we're multiplying into a polynomial, in this case where the polynomial has 3 terms. So that means that this 3x needs to come and multiply by every single one of these terms. So we're going to do the first one here and go 3x times 4x cubed, and remember, if you need to, you can put your 1 on that exponent so that you remember you're adding 1. So 3 times 4 would give us 12. X to the first times x cubed would give us x to the fourth. We do the same thing with our next one. We've got 3x times -3x. So we would do 3 times -3, which would be -9. And then x times x, again, if you need to, you can place a 1 there, so that'd be 1 plus 1, which would give us x squared. Then the last one would be 3x times 7. So we do 3 times 7, which would give us a positive 21. And we still have the x because we have that x on our 3x. So he's going to come on to this last one with being 21x. Okay, so the next one is the same type of problem, just a little bit more on the number of variables. So we're going to distribute here. And we're going to start off with 4xy squared times 3x. So doing our 4 times our 3 would give us 12. X times x would give us x squared. And then our y squared would just come along because he doesn't have anything to add to in this term 3x. But we still have him because he's part of this term right here. So now we're going to do our next one. We're going to go 4x times -2xy. So 4 times -2 would give us a -8. X times x, again, that would be x squared. This time we do have a y in both terms, so y squared times y would give us y cubed. And then for the last one here, we've got 4 times negative 4. That would give us negative 16. And then we don't have an x to multiply by in the 4y, so we're just going to bring the x over. And then y squared times y would give us y cubed. And this would be our answer for number 4.